All right, Honors Algebra 2 and Algebra 2. Here is your Chapter 8's game plan, video number 4, I believe. Anyway, what you're going to do is at the top of your page, okay, so whatever paper you're using, at the top of your page, you're going to call this Practice 9-4 Worksheets, like I have here, Practice 9-4 Worksheets. And this is page 3 of like the game plan, the thing I'll be collecting. And this is part 1 video, okay? So what we're going to do today, this is going to be kind of in 2 parts. We're going to simplify each rational expression. So write that at the top. Simplify each rational expression. I will be sending you guys an email by the end of the week, each class, telling you how you can start submitting things to me for what should be very easy grades. Okay? Number 1. So number 1, write that down. It is 20 plus 40x divided by 20x. Write that down. So how do we simplify this? A lot of times we're going to have to factor. You could factor out a 20 at the top, or notice that all 3 terms, 20, 40x, and 20x, you can all divide them by 20. Can't divide them all by x because this doesn't have an x. So divide everything by 20. 20 divided by 20 would be 1, plus 40 divided by 20 would be 2, 2x. 20x divided by 20 would just be x. Divide everything by 20, and that is what you're left with. All right. Number 2. Okay, so you guys might notice that this is exactly double what this is. So what I did up top is I just factored out the 2 they have in common. So you can't factor out anything, 2x plus 3. They don't have anything in common. But up top, you can factor out the 2 they have in common. So when you take out the 2 that they have in common, you're left with 2x plus 3 when you divide the top 2 terms by 2. And then look at that. Cancel, cancel. Gives you 2. All right. And factoring is what's going to be involved in the next 14 that we have here. All right. Don't know what that sound was. Number 3. Down below you could factor, but up top, notice how you can take out a 3 from both those terms, 3y squared minus 3. Factor out a 3. Then look at that. You have 3 times y squared minus 1 divided by y squared minus 1. So cancel, cancel. You're left with 3. All right, that's the whole goal. Simplify this. Reduce and make it into something simpler. Reduce and simplify. Up top, what do these 2 terms have in common? They have a 4 in common, so factor out a 4. At the bottom, they have a 3 in common, so factor out the 3. Again, when you factor out, you're dividing. Up top, when you factor out the 4, you're left with x plus 5. At the bottom, when you factor out the 3, you're left with x plus 5. What happens? You know it. X plus 5's cancel. You're left with 4 over 3. All right. It's kind of a potpourri of simplifying. Up top here, factor out the x that they have in common. Up top and down below. So up top, x squared and x have an x in common. Down below, x squared and 2x have an x in common. So factor out the x, leaving you with. Up top, x times x plus 1. Down below, x times x plus 2. What cancels out? The x's. Leaving you with x plus 1 over x plus 2. On number 6, number 6 looks almost identical to number 4. On number 6, up top they have a 3 in common, factor out the 3. Down below they have a 5 in common, factor out a 5. When you factor out a 3 up above, you're left with 3 times x plus 2. When you factor out a 5 up above, you're left with 5 times x plus 2. Factor out the x, or cancel out the x plus 2, so leaving you with 3 over 5. All right, number 7 here, folks. You can divide everything by y. That's one way to do it. Or you can just take out the y that the 2 terms have in common at the bottom. You can factor out the y that they have in common. All right, leaving you with y times y plus 6. And then look at that. The y's would cancel, leaving you with 2 over y plus 6. Again, you could have done that from the beginning. By y, by y, by y. 2 over y plus 6. Number 8, halfway done. We're going to do 16 here today. Number 8, take a look here. What does the top have in common? You can factor out the x they have in common. And down below, x squared minus 25. How does that factor? Yes, thank you. That is x plus 5, x minus 5. I know you're saying that. So up top, we're left with x times x minus 5. Down below, we're left with x plus 5, x minus 5. And the x minus 5 will cancel, leaving you with x over x plus 5. Number 9. That's what we're working with on 9. All right, so this looks like something we would definitely factor. What multiplies to 18 differs by 3. X plus 6, x minus 3 would be the numerator. This is the difference of two perfect squares. What multiplies to 36 differs by 0. X plus 6, x minus 6. All right, what can cancel? X plus 6 over x plus 6. Bye, bye, bye. You can't do 3 divided by 6 because it's being subtracted. It's x minus 3, x minus 6. Those are different terms than just a minus 3 over a minus 6. All right, so nothing can simplify there. That's as good as it gets. Okay. And the second and the last page for us today. Number 10. What multiplies 40 adds 13. That's x plus 8, x plus 5. What multiplies 35 differs by 2. X minus 7, x plus 5. X plus 8, x plus 5 over x minus 7, x plus 5. Cancel out the terms they have in common, leaving you with x plus 8 over x minus 7. Number 11. Number 11 starts with this. Ask yourself, I don't know if you can hear my daughter upstairs. Up top, factor out the 3 that they have in common. And then down below, what multiplies 6 and differs by 1? X minus 3, x plus 2. All right. And then I factor this out. This is the difference of two perfect squares. This right here would be x plus 2, x minus 2. Then what would cancel? You guessed it, the x plus 2's, leaving you with 3 times this over x minus 3. And that's a perfect way to write it. Number 12 here. All right. What you're going to do first is factor out the 4 that they have in common up top. Down below, what multiplies 21 adds a 10, x plus 7, x plus 3. Then this is a difference of two perfect squares. This is x plus 3, x minus 3. And the x plus 3's would cancel. All right, the x plus 3's here that we see up top and down below would cancel, leaving you with 4 times this divided by x plus 7. And that is what the second half of this lesson is going to be about, all about canceling. If one term is up north and one's down south, they would cancel. Uh-oh, guess and check time. Guess and check time. There's only one way to get 2x squared. That's 2x and x. Only one way to get 5. 5 and 1. Plus plus means you have to have a plus 5 and a plus 1 somewhere. This is how the top would factor. That is a 10x. 1x gives you 11x in the middle. Okay, down below. Only one way to get 3x squared. 3x and x. Everything's positive. So what are factors of 10? I chose 5 and 2 as a guess. Again, that would be 15x. That would be 2x, giving you 17x in the middle. Great, that's how that numerator and denominator factors. What cancels? The x plus 5's. You have 2x plus 1 over 3x plus 2 as your answer. And 14. Down below, only one way to get 3x squared would be 3x and x. Only one way to get 2 would be 2 and 1. Notice you have a minus, so both are negative. 3x minus 2, x minus 1 would be the denominator, how it factors. Up above, I'll just give you this one. What multiplies is 6. How about a 3x and a 2? That's how that top factors. Again, you can check it by foiling. You won't have too many of those harder guess and check ones. And what cancels? Leaving you with 2x plus 3 over x minus 1. On 15, factor out the 7 that they have in common, leaving you with 7 times x minus 4. Down below, x squared minus 16 is the difference of two perfect squares, x plus 4, x minus 4. Cancel time. 7 over x plus 4. And on 16, difference of two perfect squares up top, x plus 3, x minus 3. Down below, factor out the 2 they have in common. It's going to be 2 times x plus 3. And that is how it factors. Should be decent at factoring. And cancel out the x plus 3s that you see north and south. That's going to leave you with x minus 3 over 2. All right, folks, this is the end of practice worksheets 9-4. I'm not going to make a video tomorrow, Wednesday. Instead, I'm going to send you guys an email about how you can start submitting things to me. That should only really help your grade. Okay? Folks, stay safe out there. Good luck in April. Be healthy. Good time to go jogging. Yak Math Videos, signing out.